Last Wednesday, Harry called me at work. "Tanya, I can't make dinner tonight. My parents flew in from Portugal this morning and need to talk privately about something urgent." This felt off. In 8 months together, he'd mentioned his parents only twice, never said they lived in Portugal, and dodged family questions. That night, I drove to his apartment. His Camaro, which I'd been insuring for 3 months, wasn't there. I called, no answer. I texted, asking about his parents. 2 hours later, he replied they were in a long talk and he'd call tomorrow. I couldn't sleep. Something was wrong. Harry had been distant lately. His constant texts had dwindled over 2 weeks to short, rare replies. Thursday morning, I checked Instagram. He'd posted a photo from Romano's, the fancy downtown Italian restaurant, captioned "Family Dinner" with a heart. A woman's hand, not his mother's, was visible. Red nails, familiar ring designs. I zoomed in. It was a young woman's hand, not someone in their 50s like his mom. I'd seen those rings before but couldn't place them. I dug through Harry's Instagram and found old photos with a blonde, Stella, from before we dated. Her public profile showed the same rings. She'd moved to Seattle 8 months ago when we started dating and returned 3 weeks ago when Harry grew distant. That hand in the photo was Stella's, his ex he'd called unimportant. Friday, I went to Romano's to see for myself. I called Harry, suggesting dinner there. He refused, saying it was too pricey, though I always paid. I arrived at 7:30, parked across the street, and waited. At 8:15, Harry's Camaro pulled up with an older couple and Stella. I grabbed a hoodie and cap from my car, went inside, and got seated one table away, hood up, face hidden. Harry held Stella's hand. The older woman, likely his mom, Priscilla, smiled at her. His dad, Leonard, raised his glass. "Mom, Dad, this is Stella, my true love. We're back together," Harry said proudly. Priscilla clapped. "What about Tanya?" she asked. Harry laughed. "That sad girl, she's my personal bank. I've used her for months while winning Stella back." I recorded audio under the table. "She pays for my car, clothes, phone bill," Harry boasted. "I'll ditch her once Stella's settled." Leonard nodded. "Smart, son. Why work when a desperate girl funds you?" They all laughed. "She's so gullible," Harry said. "Thinks I love her, talks about marriage." I just nod while she pays. Priscilla asked, "How much has she given you?" Harry estimated $4,000, including a $600 watch, car insurance, and shoes Stella liked. I'd worked overtime, skipped meals, and canceled plans to afford it all. Stella scrolled her phone. "I should thank her for caring for my man. What's her Instagram?" Harry stopped her. "Wait till she's fully settled. Then I'll block Tanya." Leonard toasted Harry's genius for finding a sugar mama. 8 months of my life believing Harry loved me, sacrificing for him while he saw me as a cash machine. I stopped recording, left $20 for my water, and walked out. Harry didn't know I'd heard everything or recorded his words. He'd soon learn the cost of using me. First update *, your comments on my first post were incredible, and many asked what happened next. After leaving Romano's, I sat in my car, shaking with rage, not sadness, but fury at their laughter. Harry's dad toasting my exploitation, Stella wanting to see the walking ATM. I drove home silently. At my apartment, I saw Harry's stuff everywhere. Gaming headphones I bought, clothes in my closet, sneakers by my door. He'd been moving in, using my place as storage while planning his life with Stella. I grabbed garbage bags and packed his headphones, clothes, shoes, and cologne. Outside, I scattered them on the sidewalk. His jeans hit a puddle, shoes landed in dirt, cologne poured over his electronics. It felt amazing. Back inside, I changed into pajamas, ate ice cream, and watched TV, free from worrying about Harry's bills. At 11:30, his car pulled up. He yelled, "What the hell?" seeing his stuff ruined. He frantically gathered it, wiping cologne off his gear. He pounded my door. I opened it with the chain on. "Tanya, are you insane? Why's my stuff destroyed?" he shouted, red-faced. Stella sat in his Camaro, watching. "I cleared out clutter," I said calmly. "You won't need it here since you're moving in with your true love next week." His face paled. He stammered, "I don't know what you're talking about. Let me in to talk." "Talk like adults," I laughed. "Adults don't use people as ATMs while planning another life." He realized I'd been at Romano's. "You spied on me? That's crazy," he yelled. "Crazy? You stole from me for 8 months," I shot back. He pushed the door, screaming I'd pay for damages. "I paid for it all," I said. He called me pathetic, desperate, confirming his restaurant words. Stella urged him to calm down, likely fearing police. I closed the door, turned off lights. He yelled for 10 minutes before Stella dragged him away. I saw them arguing as they drove off. Next morning, my neighbor Christine shared security footage of Harry's meltdown, recorded in case police were needed. I had proof of his tirade while Stella watched. I thought that was the end, but I was wrong. Second update asterisk, I thought Harry's doorstep rant was the finale, but he wasn't done. Your support kept me sane. Saturday morning, my mom called 6 times before 9 a.m., panicked. Harry says you had a breakdown, destroyed his stuff. He's worried you need help. He'd called my parents, painting me as unhinged to turn them against me. Mom wanted me to apologize and pay Harry. I hung up furious. Sunday, I showed my parents Christine's footage. Harry's screams, calling me worthless, admitting he used me, left them stunned. Dad apologized. Mom cried at Harry's deception. Tuesday, Harry showed up at my building, smug in new clothes I didn't buy. I need to grab some things I left, he said. I told him everything was gone. He insisted on searching my apartment, a clear ploy to provoke me. When I refused, he grabbed my arm, saying, "Don't be difficult, I'm reasonable." Neighbors stared as he raised his voice, loving the drama. I pulled away, threatening police. He laughed, claiming photos of my damage would incriminate me. Over days, Harry appeared everywhere. My coffee shop, grocery store, workplace, flaunting Stella, loudly proclaiming their love, glancing to ensure I heard. Friday, he parked his Camaro outside my job, waiting an hour to taunt me as I left. "Thanks, Tanya, for showing me what I missed. Stella's real love." They drove off laughing. Saturday, alone outside my building, he blocked my car door. "I never loved you," he said, grinning. "You were a convenience till Stella returned. You're nice, but not on our level." I snapped, yelling he was a pathetic leech who'd end up alone. He smirked, enjoying my anger, and left saying, "Thanks for the show." I realized he thrived on my reactions, proving his control. I blocked his number, hoping he'd tire of tormenting me. Final update asterisk, a month later, karma hit Harry hard. Sunday night, in a rainstorm, someone threw pebbles at my third-floor window. It was Harry, soaked, looking like he'd slept in his car. "Tanya, please, Stella's gone. She took everything. I have nowhere to go," he begged. I laughed, telling him it was his problem. He screamed apologies, pleading to explain. I filmed his pathetic breakdown, then let him inside, not from pity, but to hear his ruins details. Dripping on my doormat, he explained. Stella, while Harry used me, planned her own scam. She got access to his bank account, claiming to manage their future. She borrowed his car to apartment hunt, then vanished, taking all his money, my contributions, his savings, rent funds. His apartment lease was gone, expecting to live with her. He'd been sleeping in bus stations, down to $40. His parents, thrilled about Stella, would disown him if they knew he was scammed and homeless. He feared being dragged to Portugal for grueling work. "Let me stay a few days," he begged. I laughed, reminding him of his insults, calling me an ATM, saying I made him sick. I filmed his sobbing confession, posted it online with a caption about his scam backfiring. It went viral. He panicked, fearing his parents' reaction. I gave him 5 minutes to leave or face police, citing footage of his harassment. He left broken. Next morning, he was back, begging again. I told him to beg on the street, hoping he'd learn empathy from being used. 2 days ago, he tried intimidating me on my steps. "You'll beg me back when I recover." I laughed at this broke, filthy man and suggested he try McDonald's for food. He's still lingering, looking defeated, asking neighbors for odd jobs. Karma's perfect, folks.